Okay, how far are we? Yeah, hello viewers. Welcome to KDL TV Live. We are coming live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Very delighted to have you on this wonderful Sunday morning. It is 10:08 here in Minneapolis Central Time. It is 11:08 Eastern Standard Time. It is 6:08 East African Standard Time. Very delighted to have you on the show again, as promised from last week. We're continuing a conversation around a positive diaspora narrative. And as you can see on the screen today, we're very honored and privileged to have on the show two outstanding African immigrants who are serving the U.S. military. And we're really looking forward to having a discussion around what is it really living the experience of an African man in the U.S. military. I think this is a very interesting subject. Personally, I really did wanted to join the military a couple of years ago, but unfortunately, I was not able to join because of age limitation. But I think the two wonderful gentlemen will lead us through a discussion around what it takes to join the military. What is it? Is it been like being in the military? And then, if you have questions for the guys in the military, please feel free to go on YouTube, post the questions there as well. If you're following us on Facebook.com, feel free to make a comment. Also, so post a question. We'll have a few minutes for them to answer the questions at the end of the show. Also, if you're following us on Twitter, also tweet. And if you have any questions as well, do so. Our technical guys will get those questions and we'll be able to hear them towards the end of the show. But so for now, I'm honored to bring on the screen the two wonderful gentlemen. And for reasons, professional reasons, will not be able to disclose where. For good reasons, will not be able to disclose where they are right now, and I think that's why they're wearing the uniform. But wherever they are around the world, so I'm honored first to introduce the two gentlemen. They will introduce themselves by name. I'm going to start with Solomon. Solomon, if you don't mind, introduce yourself to our viewers quickly.
Yes, good evening, good afternoon, morning to everybody from KDL TV. My name is Staff Sergeant Support. I am married with three children, and my wife is also in the army. I'm originally from Kenya, but I moved to the United States when I was 19 years old. I joined the army right after 1 year of being in the United States of America, and I cannot regret the decision that I made.
Solomon, you said 19. You look 18, really, but it's good. Whatever you are eating there, I think you look pretty comfortable. I regret really not joining. So we also joined here as well with Dennis Nduko. Dennis, do you mind also introducing yourself to our viewers?
Thank you, Dr. My name is Dennis Nduko. I came to this country around 13 years ago. I joined the military 3 months after I came here to the States. I stayed in the military for 8 years, and that's one of my best decisions I've ever made. I'm married, 2 kids, and right now, I'm a veteran. I'm out here, and I work as a software engineer.
Okay, very good, guys. I'll tell you this. On behalf of KDL TV, we are honored to have you on the show. And as we say in this country, thank you so much for serving the country and really representing us in the best way possible. And the other thing I want to point out, I really love the uniform. I really love. If there's a uniform that misses in my house, that is it. And I hope one of my kids will end up wearing the uniform. So let's begin just the discussion, guys. Yes, and Nduko is telling me to salute you, so I salute you. So let's start before we even talk about the honor. Thank you. So before we even start discussing about the experience of the military, let's talk about what's obvious. Right down on the screen, we're talking about COVID-19, and everybody who has come to the show, we've started the conversation around COVID-19, how it's affected us. It's affected us individually as persons. It's affected us business and organizations. So to you as well, do you mind sharing your experiences as a person and professionally? How has this been for you, especially during this coronavirus? Let's start with you, Solomon.
Well, thank you again for giving me the chance. The COVID-19, of course, it's a pandemic that came out of nowhere. Nobody was prepared for it. But I think it's been handled very well when we come in the military. You know, there's a lot of regulations that we have to follow, like washing hands, just regular stuff like wear a mask and avoid social distance. And uh, also, personally, say I'm a strong believer that God will always protect us so long as we keep our faith and we keep the laws of the land. Because if you have to be told by a doctor that what you do is to avoid from this corona pandemic, and then all you have to do is obey. That is the key to anything.
Very good. Again, for viewers, just so you know, we might have heckles in part because the two gentlemen are located somewhere around the world, and we can't obviously disclose where they are for good reasons. So thank you, Solomon. And to you, Dennis, obviously, what is your experience as a person at software engineering, as a family man? What has been your experience with this coronavirus?
Yeah, first, I don't want us to be scared away with coronavirus. We have to find a way to live with it. It's going to stay with us. So accepting it's there, and then as Solomon said, let's trust God. Our God is a bigger God. And then from there, let's take all the precautions we need to take. Wear your mask. Don't take that one time that you're not putting on your mask. That might be the time you get it. So every time I go out, I put on my mask. When I come back, wash your hands. Keep your social distance. And I think at the end of the day, we will succeed. I will succeed in putting this monster away.
Okay, very good, gentlemen. Thank you very kindly for that. Again, one more time, thanks for honoring the show and coming on. So let's get to the discussion around really your lived experience in the military as African immigrant men. There are those ones who really wonder, why could I even join the military? This is something it's scary, but you guys look very happy, very excited. Let's start with the obvious question. Why in the good world did you join the military? Let's begin with you, Solomon.
Well, to me, to be honest, from my very young age, my father told me you are a soldier. Tried to join the Kenyan army, but my physical height was not able to get me in. When I landed in the United States and I got a letter that you can join, that was like a miracle. That was like a call, a dream true. So I took that as a God answering my. So I wasted no time, and when I joined, I wanted to better my life, the tree, and be able to get the best of going to school and be able to support my family. And indeed, I have achieved and I have found more benefits than I thought when I was joining.
I don't know. To you, I know you disclosed in the intro there, Solomon, that your wife is also in the military. Did I get that correctly? And why did she join?
Because they found out that what I'm doing is so professional and is so uh, it's 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 something that it's bringing in a lot of benefits in the house, and it's something that she when she met me, I was new in the army, and she has watched me grow, and she built that anxiety, and finally she say, you know what, I'm not gonna watch you grow by yourself. Let me join so that we can grow together. And then of course I said I will support you 100%. And right now she's really doing better than me because of course I'm shedding the right at the end of the tunnel, so it doesn't have to go the hard way. It's getting the shortcuts.
That's very nice. It's very good to hear your dad pushed you go to the military. Your wife, in a supportive way, supported you, and in return, you're supporting her, and you two supporting each other. I think that's fantastic. So please extend our appreciation, salute her on behalf of KDL TV, and our viewers also salute her. And the fact that a woman, an African immigrant woman goes to the military and doing very good, that's very impressive. Please salute her on our behalf. So to you, why did you join?
Yeah, I know you'll be surprised. I don't want to speak everything from the beginning, but before I joined the military, I sat down and I started trying to ask myself, what do I want to do in this life? Because I just came here in the US, as I said, almost 13 years ago. I was 20 years old. Actually, I was in a first year in Kenyatta University when I moved here. So being in this country, in Kenya, I was being taken care of my parents. Now I'm in this country, I'm supposed to take care of myself, right? So I sat down and trying to figure out what job I can do. So I started going around, these jobs we can do here in America, as a cashier, all those jobs, them. And I started listing down to figure out which best job I can take with the benefits, and be able to go to school as well, After almost 1 month of research, I figured out the best place for me to be is in the military. And as we will talk, I think at some point down the road, some of the benefits, you get. And I didn't have anything which is going to rival what I had on the table at that point. And that's why I joined the military. And as we're going to talk down the road, you see some of the benefits and the way the military molds you in a very good way in life. It sets you in life, it makes you to be able to face any obstacles in life. And for sure, as we talk down the road, you guys will see one of the reasons as military as a profession is as good as the other professions. And for you, if there's anybody out there want to join, it's not like we are advertising for the military. We are just sharing, sharing as Kenyans, sharing as friends, what you might know. But do your research as you do before you take this decision. So we'll talk more as we go down there.
So thank you, guys. I'm so fascinated. Actually, both of you have talked to you in private, and as you talk now, I'm thinking of this common say here that your success in America depends on who picks you from the airport. So if a military guy picked you from the airport, you're probably going to be successful. If somebody who picks you from the airport has no good direction in America, you know for sure you're not going to have good direction. And it is good to hear this, and especially with our people. I recall the many years when I came here, I was told the only place you could work was to go to a nursing home and work as a nursing assistant. I did work there for a couple of years, and I don't regret the time there. I mean, it gave me ground to be where I am today, and I appreciate that. There are people watching this, and as we discuss, who are wondering, wow, I can't believe my brothers are in the military. I want to join. But the key question probably is, what are the basic requirements to joining the military? I know, let me switch it around now, start with you, Deno, and then back to Solomon. You're the veteran. What are some of the basic requirements for somebody to join the military?
Yeah, one of the things before you join the military, there's what we call the Asvab test. And this is something you can find online, study for it, and do it. So there's no failing. That's one thing for sure when you do that test. But the thing is, the better you score, the more opportunities are there for you. Because when you look at the military, there's a wide spectrum of jobs you can pick from. You can be an engineer just like Solomon. You can go to the medical field. You can go to the law field. You can go to, let me not stop naming the communication, IT, all those fields we have out here. Everything you can do outside in the military is inside the military. So if you do that test well, you can be able to pick what you want to do in life. That's one thing you need to look into before you start joining the military. The other thing I think Solomon will talk a little bit about this is the age. I don't have the specific numbers here, but there's a limit of the military you can join. And at some point, I know back in the day, they raised the age for guys to join the military around 2007 and 8 to, I think, 41, 42. And during the basic training, I know most of the guys could not finish the basic training because it's so intense. So it's good to join the military at a younger age, let's say below below 30. That way, because of the intensity of the training and other things, you can be able to endure, for the remaining. Because for you to retire in the military, you need like 20 years, right? So it's good to retire around 45, 46, so that at that point you're at a good strength and other things. I'll pass it to Solomon to maybe add more to it.
As you add on to that, that's a good point. Thank you, Deno. As you add to that, I want you also to speak to the women. They also, because your wife is already in the military, as you add on to some of the basic requirements, do you mind talking about what are the requirements for women as well? The young ladies who probably watching and they're saying, wow, I can do it. Go ahead, Solomon.
Well, thanks, Brother Nduko. I see you were still remembering the requirements. But to add on, the age limit is between 17 and 34 active duty, and then we have reserve where they extend that to about 40 years old. But speaking of, also you must also have high school diploma. High school diploma is the minimum requirement of education level. And speaking of, you must not have more than 2 dependents, but that can be waivable, I believe. But also, speaking of the Asvab that he was talking about, very, very important, very important, very important. Your score will determine the path of your dream. Like me as an engineer in the army, my score, you hear me? My score was the factor to get that job. So, speaking speaking of the female, there is no who cannot be able to serve in the military. If you are a female out there, especially those who are born and raised in Kenya, the military training is okay. It's nothing. It's nothing. Even though our brother Nduko mentioned that is very intense. Boot camp, if you go in Kenya and you are water from the river, bring maize from the samba, and be able to go to school every day, those physical training, when you join the military, it's just a piece of cake. Yes.
Oh, oh, you talk about a piece of cake. Sounds very easy, but I tell you what, the people who are watching and growing up knew if I joined the military, no, I don't want to go fight and I'll go die. That is the assumption most people make. But the truth is, that's not the case. We're talking about they know you've done this and now you have a master's and you're a software engineer. You too. They know people don't necessarily have to die. You have to do many other things, not necessarily fighting the front lines. So let's talk about the fiscal requirements. They know. I think some people say, no, you got to be strong. I don't know what are the fiscal requirements. Do you mind sharing what that is to our viewers?
Someone said coming from Kenya or coming from Africa, you should be able to go, do well fiscally in the military, because the settings in Africa, we do work some distance. So coming here, doing 2 miles, it's gonna be an easy thing. So when you are running, I think 2 miles. So this one changes as you go older. The very first time I joined the military, I think for you to be able to do the 2-mile run, I think it was 14 minutes. That's like 7 minutes a mile. And as you go older, it goes, I think when I was almost getting out, I was doing like 18, 19 minutes for you to be able to pass it. And the push-ups, it's not allowed. I think if you go online, you will see these things. I think if you can be able to do 40 push-ups, you are good. And these things, let them not scare you. Because you do the training every day in the morning, there's no pressure for you. It just comes out automatically. It's pretty much like as you do your job, you get a job maybe as a cashier, You know, you do it for the first 3 months, then the 4th month, 5th month, you're just using muscle memories pretty fast, right? It's the same thing as in the military. If it comes to maybe using the rifles, it's the training you get, and if they give you a training well, you can be able to handle it well. But let me just make this one clear. Being in the military is not about the rifle. That's the wrong impression we do get. In the military is the things we do. Like Solomon, 99% of his job is in engineering, making sure the engines are working, replacing the engines, you know, all those things. That's what he does 99% of the time, maybe under the physical training in the morning. The same thing, I was a combat medic. A combat medic is more of an EMT. So most of the things I did was in the hospital. That's where I stayed like the whole day. And when we go out in the field, I go there as the medic. You know, that's what we do 99% of the time. And then we have some training. Of course, you go train for the rifle. We do that maybe just a couple of times. But let me just make sure the military is not about the rifles. It's about the job you decide to do in the military. That's what we do. And some of them might be like, maybe we are lying all this, but if you get somebody, you can shadow them for one day. I think sometimes they allow it in the military and see what we do. That's what we do on a daily basis. So, but physically, don't be scared about it. So long as you join within the age requirements, you know, they have done their studies. They know if you join within these age limits, you should be fine. So.
Solomon, add on to that again. Sorry for putting. I wish we had a lady on the panel, but since your family is part of it, the fiscal requirement the same. Say, for example, if you put a lot of weight like I am, do they allow that? And what if I'm way too skinny? Would they make me eat more food so that I have more muscle? What are the requirements there?
Actually, physical fit. When I joined myself, I did not know how to do proper push-ups. I did only probably 15, but that didn't scare me. The thing is, they will train you. They will train you. You will get trained on how to do proper push-ups. They will see where you are weak. They will train you on those push-ups. They will tell you what you need to do so that you can be able to qualify. They will train you on sit-ups. They will train you on a 2-mile run, which for the 2-mile run for a Kenyan, that is like you become like myself when I left, it was like I'm a hero, and everybody was looking at me, and I was like, if I go to Kenya and I do this, they will be like, can you please stop? What are you trying to do? So that is the advantage we have, especially if I can say Kenyan, even physical fitness, we are physically fit. When you join, don't even worry about the push-ups. Go there, they will teach you. You will there. Rival, the same. That's maybe rival, depending, because myself, I've never handled a rival before in my life. That was the most difficult challenge that I had in bootcamp. But again, they will train you. I was trained and I qualified and I graduated. So for you to join, don't worry about your physical ability. So long as you are well, you are healthy, they will put you where, that's why it's called boot camp. You're going to get that training. For a female, we have a different scale for male and we have a different scale for females. So yes, it's a 2-mile run, but at the same time, the time is different for male and the time is different for female. Push up, the same. Sit ups, the same. So it's not the same skill. And speaking of dying in the military, when I hear that, I always quote from the one warrior that I know who fought many, 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 many wars, but he died in bed at an old age. I'm speaking of King David. King David was a warrior, the one who killed Goliath at a very minimum age. King David went to war, many wars, to the point that God was like, you know what? You have shed too much blood. You are not going to build my church. I will let your son Solomon build my church. So if God is with you, no weapon is going to be able to bring you down. So let us have that in mind. And another thing, it's not about compact all the time, like our brother Dennis was speaking about. Actually, I've been in the army for around 9 years now. I've never gone to compact. I've never gone to compact, and all the time I'm at the motor pool, making sure that all the vehicles are 100% mission capable. So, I mean, and if you go to compact too, it also depends on your job. So if your job, it also depends on your job. What's your performance? Like, for instance, my wife, like I said, she got all the benefits and all the shortcuts because I had to tell her, hey, if you want to enjoy the military, you must pick this MOS. And right now, she's having it as a piece of cake. She barely even wear the uniform. She wears the uniform to work, and she's switching to scraps because she works at the dental clinic. So she's always in the scraps. She only wears the uniform when she's driving to work and driving home from work. And speaking of family, I am married. We are both active duty, and we have 3 kids. How are we managing? You come up with a family care plan. You must have somebody watching your kids at all the time. That is a requirement if you want to be dual military.
The both of you and having conversations. I think I grew up in a world where when you talk about the military, you're talking about, and I say this with all due respect, people who just go to the military ready to fight and be rude and careless and drink. But having a conversation with you, both of you're guys of faith. I think that's very important, and you're a very good family man, and I think also very good family, pretty much contribute to society, and professionally also growing. That's a good thing that I think our people should learn, that is not about the negative aspect that is associated with this. So let's go to you, Deno, for a minute. I know you did talk about the requirements, but if you don't mind clarifying one more time, what are some of the documents required to join the military? And when we talk about the military, sometimes we get confused. Do you mean the Navy? Do you mean the military? Do you mean the reserve? Do you mean the Marine Corps? So I don't know what the difference are. If you don't mind helping our viewers understand what that is, they're not you.
You can join the U.S. Army. That's one of them. Or you can join the Navy. You can join the Air Force, or you can join the Marine Corps. And in these sections you can join, there's some different things you can do there. Once you get there, I think you will get to know them. Like in the Army, we have Special Forces. The Navy, they also have the Navy SEALs and the other forces. So that's just to clarify what what the military is. So when we say about the military, we just mean and under that umbrella we have all those 4 branches, right? So, and the other thing you asked about, what was that you asked about again?
Documentations required in all those.
Thank you. Yeah. So the documentations have hosted a number of people, and most of them came in this country as students. So if you come in as a student and you have finished your college levels or education, you can join the military using, I don't know what they come in with for education here in the US. So that one you can be able to join. Or if you have a green card, you can as well join. So those are the 2 main things I know you can use to join the military. That's if you came here as a student and you have never done anything bad, to mess up your records, at that point you can easily join. And I think I've guided almost 4 or 5 guys who are students, and they have joined the military, and they have a good. They always call me and tell me, "Thank you for the advice you gave me." And also, like, if you have a green card as well, you can join. Those are the two main. Any job you can, if you want to do a job here in the US, except for the student route, you should be able to join the military.
Thank you, Dennis. So let's get back to you, Solomon. So add on to, if you think there's an additional document that people might want, add on to that. And also, let's stick to also what is most important. What are the benefits? I know you've talked about that, but do you mind being more clear on what are some of the benefits that you get as an immigrant in the U.S. military? Let's. Okay.
Hey, I'll clean.
It's okay. Deno, you can take that. Go ahead, Deno.
Okay, thank you. So one thing.
Then you can have Dennis on for now. Is it?
All right, thank you. So one thing I can talk about is some of the benefits you get in the military. This thing I'm trying to figure out how well I can explain. So when you join the military and job, there's what we have, the 401k. And for the military, they give you the 401k and they match it up to 3-4%. So these are some of the benefits when you get into a job. Some of us don't go to get them. So when you join the military, they have the 401k, and that's one of the most important benefits you get in the military. The second one, this one, you will never get it elsewhere, another job in this world. I was in the military for around 8 years, but I just paid $27 for medical expenses. That's for the whole family, $27. And when I take my kids, my wife to hospital, I don't pay anything from my pockets. So they cover everything for that. And I can comfortably say there's no company which can match that. I've worked outside here in the private sector, but going back to the military, that's one of the benefits which I really, really enjoyed when I was there. The other thing is education. Coming to this country, I had just 1 year of college. But when I came here, the military paid for my first degree and they paid for my master's degree. That's everything paid for, and they do housing and what you eat. So all you have to do is just go to school. But of course, you can't just do school. We as Africans, so you get another job to care for other expenses. So that's the other benefit you get in the military. And while I was in the military, I speak Swahili. This is some of the things, even here in the private sector, you might not get paid for that, but you get paid for speaking Swahili. And I think Solomon can talk to that as well. I was paid around $300 for the military. Yeah. So when you get into a job, if you go online, for example, you join as an E4, maybe you get the best salary for that, which is taxed like another job. So on top of that, the military gives you some other benefits, which of course is not taxed. For example, they give you money for food. If you are by yourself, of course, they give you some money. If you are with your family, they give you more to feed, the whole family. And that money is not taxed, as well as the money for housing. That's separate. That's not part of your salary. And that money is not as well taxed. From the top of the head, those are some of the benefits I can talk of. The other one I don't want to forget is the one which comes as you do your job. Out here trying to figure out the best way to do your work, as well as, be physically fit. It comes of a challenge. But in the military, something which you do as part of your job. And this is the benefit we always forget about, but which is quite important, that as you do your job, you are physically fit, that, this one pushes away the diseases. And we kind of forget about this and take it for granted. But that's one of the benefits you get as well in the military. I can't speak all the benefits at this point, but if you go research well, as another job, if you want to join the military or you want to have some, compare the two, go online, search, compare with the jobs you want to see. But I can tell you, all these benefits, they parallel with what we have out here as well, or even better.
Thank you, Dennis, for that. So I know we have back on Solomon. Solomon, if you don't mind, also come on, talk more specifically again. What are the additional benefits that you could have, especially for the family perspective? My understanding, of most people do understand, sometimes as a military, you're separated for a very long time, and that could be problematic. From your experience, how have you experienced that? What are the benefits for family and the idea of separation for a long time? How does that play out? And if both of you, if you don't mind, there are many people watching the show right now. That I see a lot of friends, Nigerian friends. I see Liberian friends watching. I see Ghanaians. Do you see a lot of African immigrants in the military? Let's stick with that benefit question to you first, Solomon.
Yes, thank you again for having me back, and I'm sorry I had. Uh, Dennis Nduko has well put here the benefits, and actually the benefits are more than what he has said. If I can tell you, the military is like a college. It's like a technical institute. When you go to a technical institute, if you, for instance, you're going to do engineering, you will only graduate as an engineer. But when you join the army, you get like now when you grow in ranks, when you grow in the with the time, you come to realize that you have been you have a lot of qualifications. Like for myself, for instance, right now I have a lot of qualifications that the military has helped me to attain. If I go outside the army right now, I can do any job anywhere. That is the benefit that I can also say that is a very big benefit. Discipline, the discipline the military gives you, that is a very great benefit that you will never get out there outside the military. And another thing also, speaking of having a family, myself, I actually jumped into having a family because I realized that having a family, the military can give you money for housing, and they can give you money for food, which out there in the other jobs, you are only getting paid your salary. But the army will give you money for your salary, and on top of that, if you are married, they will give you money for the house, depending on the location. For instance, let's speak when I was in North Carolina. I was getting around $900 for house and 365 for food. And on top, what Luke also spoke, I had the benefit of speaking Swahili, so another $350 for speaking Swahili. And also, since I was airborne qualified, I was also getting 150 more for my champ pay. So if you look at that math by itself, and you have a family, and all my three kids were born in a army hospital, and it's beautiful. I can thank God that I made that decision. And you walk away from having your baby with no money that you are going to pay out of your pocket. That is a very big relief. And when I speak to some of my friends out there who are not military, they tell me if you are having a baby in the hospital, you get a very big bill. And another benefit Dennis Nduko hit is you can get tuition assistance while you are in the army. You can still go to school, of which I have taken advantage of that. I have college. I've been to college as well. And the military also takes you to their colleges as you advance in rank. And also, my wife also, who joined also, she's going to college too. So, and there's a lot of programs that you can decide, like I say, if you have a child who is graduating from high school, like let's say here in the United States, and this child go to college for 4 years, and you have another child going straight from high school to the military. If they do what is required, they stay in shape, they stay in discipline, they take advantage. You know, you can have the military benefits, but are you taking advantage of those military benefits? We have people who are sleeping with the benefits. They have the benefits, but they are not taking advantage of the benefits because, i.e., not everybody like to go to school. So even though the military is is offering the benefits to go to school, not many people get to take advantage of that. So that's why you see many people don't grow in the rank. And right now, my plan, I'm using tuition assistant and my GI bill for, I'm going to transfer that to my kids. So like right now, my kids will have, if I divide my GI bill, my two sons will have 2 years paid of college. The food they eat in college, the house they are going to stay in college is already paid. And if my wife divide us to the kids too, they are going, one is going to have 4 years fully paid. The second one is going to have 4 years fully paid. And only the last one is not going to get. And plus, if we invest, he's going to get money paid for his college. So the military has a lot of benefits that I can speak from now until the show ends. And I mean, if you want to hear more, you can always reach out. And speaking on the question you also asked about a lot of people from other countries, Africans, a lot of Nigerians, a lot of I have served with a lot of Nigerians, very good people. I have served with a lot of Kenyans. I have served with a lot of Kenyans in the army. Everywhere I have been posted in Fort Bragg, we had more than a community of more than 300 Kenyan soldiers. We are a very big community, and so the military is really good.
Good, thank you. And additional skills, and I know a lot of friends are texting me. They're saying, "Wow, this is really fantastic." Any additional skills that they know, and what's your experience with? We're talking about all. The military is not just necessarily for whites; it's very inclusive in nature. There are white, there are Asians, there are blacks. You mind speaking to that as well as you add on any other skills that are necessary for you to survive.
I think I want to reiterate the skills you learn in the military. You know, I went in as an EMT, but once, as Solomon said, once you get there, there's what a cross-job training. Solomon comes and takes us as an engineer. He tells us, when I give you my car, this is what I want you to do. Like somebody like me, when I joined the military, I didn't know how to check the oil of the cars, change the tires, all those things. So there's a cross-job training. You just don't do your job. You do also, these guys, they train each other so that, when there's nobody who's supposed to fix something, you can be able to do it yourself. So at the end of the day, when you get out of the military, you are not just as an engineer. You also know some other things as a medic. You know things as a communication guy, and as well as you come out with a wide spectrum of experiences. So the other thing I wanted to add, you asked about, is the culture in the military, like the people you see there. I think when we were in AIT training, like almost 10 years ago, we were almost 15 Kenyans. 15 Kenyans, that's not like the whole military. That's the AIT, which is almost around 70 people. 10 of those 70 people in that training, they were Kenyans. So there were also some Nigerians, pretty much from all over Africa. So I think there's a good number. The military is balanced from all the regions, from Africa, from Mexico. We have all these guys coming there and, trying to have a life and making a career. And let's put this one first. When we talk about the military, it's a career. It's a career, and most people get that as an opportunity. They take it, and at the end of the day, we all get what we want in life, but you get some good training and a wide spectrum of things to do once you get out.
Let me bring back on Solomon. Solomon, do you mind adding on to the skill question? What other skills are needed? There are people who say, look, really? The U.S. military? I can't even speak good English. My very nice accent, they won't even understand what I'm talking about. I don't want to go there and get frustrated. Add on to that question, Solomon, and is language an issue?
Well, with the skills, actually, you need no skills to join the army. They want you to come with no skills so that they can have the opportunity to skill you. So you don't need no skills to join the army. Let me put that clear. And also, when I joined the army, I like I said, I was already coming right from Kenya, and my accent was really, really bad. But in the military, the only thing you need to hear is the sound saying left, right, forward. That is all you need. So your language is not an obstacle. Actually, you now get the opportunity to be taught how to speak well English, because they have a program for the people who don't speak English well. They have a class. You take a class for free. So they teach how to speak proper English. So I don't see an obstacle for you not joining the army. Actually, yeah, just go in. If you have, all you need is the heart. Do you have the heart to endure, the heart to serve? That's all you need. You don't need anything.
It's good to hear that. Thank you. Thank you. I think you guys have really done a great job trying to qualify what it means. There are a lot of people, quite frankly, who fear. They think once you join the military, you're going to get a gun and you're going to go somewhere and you're going to die. And I'm happy that you're clarifying that that's not necessarily the case. You can be anything you want. You can be a software engineer, as Deno is here. You can be an engineer working the military vehicles, Solomon, and many others. You can be a doctor. You can be a lawyer. You can be anything. So, and what I hear from you guys, I want to make sure you clarify this, is the fact that the military is very inclusive. So those ones who come to this country and think because they're immigrants, maybe they might not be accepted in the military because of whatever kind of biases are there. What you are saying is that, no, it is very inclusive, it's very welcoming. Is that correct understanding, Dennis?
Once if you decide to join the military, they don't look at your background, if you are black, if you are from this country or what. What they look for is, of course, they have to do a background check to make sure you are not involved in another thing, just like another job, you do here in America. They have to do a background job for you. And once you go through there, they don't have any other restrictions, so long as you fall within the age limits. You do your Asvab, which of course, there's no failing, right? And that's why when you said, like, do you have any limitation of joining the military? Ask yourself, you are doing a test which there's no failing, right? So that's one is going to make you, once you go, when they say they take you to the military, they take you to the boot camp, is they go there and they equalize everybody and they start building you from down up. Once you are done with that training, you are qualified for the job you picked for. And most people do their jobs really well. Most people, like 95% of the time, they do their jobs very well. So that's not something to be scared of. So I can say that's all for that for now, though.
As we finish up here, and I'm going to get you guys in a minute. Let me to you, Solomon. So we're talking about being inclusive, and of course, let's be honest. No, there are those ones who might say, particularly the female who want to join the military, they might say, no, that's more for men, and I don't want to go to the military because maybe of my gender. That might not work for you. Your wife is in the military, so that works fine. But if you're having a young lady who wants to join the military, she might say, I don't want to go there to be exploited sexually, whatever that is. Do you mind clarifying that the military is very strict on that part? Solomon.
So, hey, we have in the military we have programs like SHAP is talking about how you can prevent our people from being sexually harassed. That is a punishable. We have also what we call on other programs like let me give Dennis a chance to speak as I'm being interrupted here in the background.
For viewers, just understand that the gentlemen are somewhere in the world, and for some reason they cannot disclose where they are. So, Dennis, do you mind adding to that as he gets then you can have him off the camera for a few minutes. Okay, go ahead, Dennis.
Yeah, talking about discrimination, this is not something we need to be worried about. And there is very strict punishment when it comes to mistreating, the females or the males, either way. And it's just like another job. When you go to your job, have your own discipline, have your own principles, and I don't think there's anything you need to be worried about being mistreated. And then for the females are the most protected, folks in any workforce you are, whether in the private sector or in the military. So wherever they are, they know what they are supposed to do. We get trainings, and when I say we get trainings from on all different spectrums. How to relate with the co-workers. Pretty much the same trainings I see we get here outside in the civilian sector, and those trainings, they give us a sense of how we need to relate as co-workers, what we are able to do and what we are not supposed to be able to do. And there could be one or two things which may go wrong and they go to the news, but that's not what the military is. And if you get a chance to go there, it's not like the way it's being displayed out here. Before I joined the military, I thought when you join the military, it's all about fighting. When I was there, I finished my 8 years. There was nothing like that. And I was like, oh, okay, for sure. It's not what you see on the TV. Get to ask and get to know. And when you are in the military, we get a wide variety of trainings. As simple things as how to cut your nails, how to groom yourself well, how to relate with everyone. So there's nothing they take for granted. You are being built to be what the military expects you to be. So they don't take anything for granted.
Thank you. I think we have back Solomon. Solomon, we will be finishing here shortly. I understand you guys are very busy and moving on to something next. Solomon, can we have you comment on that before we finish up? Solomon,
we have a lot of yes. Like I was saying, we have a lot of programs that the Army has set aside to protect you, whether you are an immigrant, whether you are white, whether you are black. We have what we call EO, equal opportunity. So if you find yourself in a position that somebody is saying, "Oh, you're black," "Oh, I can't work with you because you're black," no, you actually report. If you report that person to EO, equal opportunity, he will lose his job. So there is a lot of programs set there to protect you, regardless of your gender, your age, your relief, your and your national origin. And another benefit that I didn't speak, I wanted to speak really bad, if you allow me to talk about it, is when I joined, I became a U.S. citizen within 3 months of my first month in the military, which I did not expect. And that made a lot of things easy for me as a U.S. Citizen. You're now you can be able to bring. I was able to bring my mom. I was able to do a lot of things that I couldn't do as a green card holder. So speaking of that itself, it's a beautiful benefit. Like you cannot, like I said, this was the best, best decision that I've ever made. And the people who knew me before I joined the army and the know me now, they testify every day. Even my family, they're proud of me, and uh, they like what I do, and that's why my wife looked at me what I'm doing, and she said, you know what, I'm gonna do it too. I'm too. So don't you miss this opportunity, Whitey. The door is still open. I mean, that's all I can say.
Good. Thank you, guys. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do for you guys. Thank you. I appreciate your insightful contribution, and I'm sure you guys are very busy, from the background, and there could be so many questions. If you don't mind promising to come back next time so that you can share your experiences, I think there are many people who want to listen to your thoughts and guidance. But for now, I'm gonna ask you each to face the camera directly and talk to young immigrants. There are many African immigrants. There are many Nigerians, Ugandans, Tanzanians, Kenyans, Somalis who want to join the military. Do you mind talking directly to the camera so that they can hear you and give them a sense of hope that there are benefits, as you said? Let's begin with you, Dennis.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna talk like as fellow migrants, fellow Africans, or whatever country you're watching from. If your passion is joining the military, look into that. We are not trying to force you or make you believe that what we are saying is true, but these are some of the benefits you get. And if you go down, look into the jobs you want to do, just do as another job. You search for a job you want to do in life. Be neutral. Try to see what it fits you, what is that you want to do as a career. And the military provides that spectrum of jobs we have said. If you want to be an engineer, if you want to go into IT or communication, if you want to go into the medical field, and in the medical field, it's not just one field there. There's a number of fields within the medical field, a number of fields in the IT field, a number of fields. When you go into, for example, engineering, you can be a vehicle engineer, you can be an aircraft engineer. So there's a lot of crafts in the military which you can do. So those are a number of specializations. So, and once you are here in the military, as my friend said before, if you are not a citizen, that's not an obstacle. So long as you are a permanent resident, you can join the military. And of course, you get your citizenship pretty fast, right? And you don't pay for that. I know when I processed for my wife, I paid around $700, $600, but for the military, you don't pay anything. The other thing is, just to finish up, once you join the military, it's going to mold you. And the person you become out when you finish, you'll be proud of yourself. You have a discipline that, most people will love to have. For example, being punctual on time, doing things with the way they are supposed to be done. That's something you will learn in the military. And if I go down naming those things, I know this just finishing up might take a lot of time, but it molds you to be a person most people would love to be. And for me, I am who I am because of the military. I have my master's because of the military, which I didn't get to pay for. And it enabled me to boost my family to be at the level we are because of the decision I made when I joined the military. Thank you, guys.
Oh, good, thank you. So let's also have Solomon from wherever you are in the world. We're wishing you nothing but the very best. Do you mind speaking directly to young people who are watching this and they're hoping to join you guys sooner or later? Give them a sense of hope, please.
One thing I will quote: if you have the heart, join. But you must be able to be so disciplined. The military is about discipline. The military is about discipline. They have, if you are a Christian, if you are a Muslim, we have a Bible. Like me, I am a Christian. We have a Bible. We have to abide by the Bible. If you're saying you are a true Christian, you must live according to the Bible. And in the military, they have military regulations. They have a manual you follow to do so. You don't want. So discipline is one thing that if you don't want to keep, don't join it because it's going to mess you up. Because there is no left. It's only right. If you are not in doing it right way, you might want to not do it. So the military is very, very, very strict when it comes to its military rules and regulations that protect the organization. So number one, I will tell you, it's a good thing to do. But at the same time, you must make sure that you stay disciplined. That's why you see a lot of people out there who are post. Next time we'll find more time. We'll talk about the people who are out there who are veterans, but they are in the streets. Why are they in the streets? That's the next time topic, and that's me promising that yes, I will come back. I chance to. I,
Do we? Okay. Do we have that? So before we finish, guys, so let's on a lighter note, let's not be too serious about this. During this difficult time, I know you did talk about coronavirus earlier on, but during this difficult time, what do you do? What do you guys do for fun, just to keep you going? Let's start with you, Dennis.
Yeah, thank you. I have a family, so one of the things I do for fun is we ride bikes, and that's one of the hobbies I brought to the family. So I get out with my two kids. Sometimes they ride the bikes, I run behind them, but when I feel like I'm too tired, I ride my bike and they follow along. And that's what we have been doing for fun. And when coronavirus goes away, of course, we have more things to do, going to the beach, going to the Six Flags. If you guys know Six Flags, my kids love those rides. And the most important thing is also visiting families in Kenya. So those are some of the things we do for fun in my family.
Solomon? Solomon, is he there? Is he muted? Okay, I think Solomon is muted and understand whatever is. But anyway, thank you so kindly for the wonderful contribution. Solomon is muted, whatever. Okay, yeah. Okay, sure. Sorry, he just texted me. Someone just texted me because of the situation where they are. He's not able to finish up, but he's very thankful for the opportunity to speak to us, and they would be very happy to join us at a later time to share more light. And particularly next time, we're going to talk about mental health, particularly from the military perspective. I know most people are asking, well, there are many people who go to the military, and when they come out, they seem to be having a lot of mental issues. So he's promised to come back to talk to that as well, and Dennis will have you back on to talk about the same. So I think that marks the end of our conversation right now. Thank you. And I want to point out to our viewers, we had scheduled an interview with Honorable Simba Arati, Member of Parliament of Dagoretti North, but we did receive a text message from him to apologize that for some reason is canceling not to join us today because of a conflicting schedule. He's traveling for another function at the moment. So we apologize that he's not able to come on the air at this time, but he did promise that we'll schedule this at a later time. So on behalf of KDL TV, we very kindly apologize for that, and on his behalf as well, but he did promise to come on the show at a later date. So that said, I also want to say to our viewers, we're going to have a discussion later this afternoon about COVID-19. That discussion will be featuring some of our leading doctors here in the state of Minnesota. We're having Dr. Bogongo who will join us, and Dr. Kirago, who will be talking about COVID-19. And I think that's a very important topic to come up. These are very senior doctors within the immigrant community, and I think they're very vital information that they want to share with us. So for those ones who are here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the central at 4 p.m. Central Time, we'll have them on so that they discuss with us some of the latest developments with COVID-19. So we hope you join us at that time. And those who are viewing in Kenya, feel free to stay late, or if not, you will be able to view that on our website as well. Another big news for all our viewers across the country and in Africa: on Wednesday at 10 Central Time, we're going to have right here on KDL TV, we're going to have Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, Kisumu governor and former Minister of Health in Kenya. That's one of the leading Kenyan politicians, will be coming on the show to discuss about how the diaspora community can partner with the Kenyan government and the Kenyan people in developing a very positive agenda, both for the diaspora community and the continental Kenyans in Kenya. And for the non-Kenyans or friends of Kenya who do not know who Professor Nyong'o is, Professor Nyong'o is the father to actress Lupita Nyong'o. So we're very honored to have him on the show on Wednesday. And the reason for us having on the show on Wednesday is because it's been a very difficult time for us to schedule time during the weekend, given the very busy schedules some of these leading politicians and leaders in Africa have. So for that reason, we'll have that show on Wednesday at 10 Central Time, which will be 11 Eastern Time. And for those ones in Kenya, that will be 6 p.m. East African time. So we hope you join us at that time. And also for all those across the country, particularly Kenyans, if you have any specific questions and that you want us to hear to Honorable Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, please feel free to send that over to us, and we'll be very happy to discuss that with him when we have that show on Wednesday. There are many more prominent personalities who will be on the show in the coming weeks. Please keep on this show. Go to our Facebook page, subscribe, remember. Go to YouTube as well, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter. That's the only way we can move this positive diaspora narrative. But for now, on behalf of the entire KDL TV here, thank you so much for tuning on at this time. We wish you a very pleasant remainder of the day, and have a wonderful day. Hopefully we see you again on Wednesday at 10 Central Time when we host Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o. Thank you very much. Have a good day.